Welcome back,
travelers.
Welcome back to the Questing Hour podcast. I'm Maggie. That's Ari.
I'm Ari. That's Maggie.
And that's me. And we've been taking you along a hero's journey with some main quests, some side quests, and we're getting to the end of the circle, which is kind of crazy. We've been doing this for a while.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So much talking, so much has been said.
I know. I feel like I've learned a lot too. I feel like
So
I'm
proud of
growing
us.
as a person. I know. It's pretty cool what we're
I'm
doing.
like, wow, this is actually productive and fun.
I know. Can you believe it? Who would have thought?
Chances.
I know. You and me.
What can I say?
What can I say?
The best duo around.
Simply, let us know if you agree. You have to agree.
You have to.
But last week we had 2 quests, which were to make Smash. I remember that one.
Smash, smash, smash.
And I'm making
now
it
I want
today.
more
and I cannot wait.
Smash.
Yeah, I know. I want it so bad.
Now I'm thinking about it again.
All I can think about since we left the Ren Fair, like I was talking about it today, about how good it was. It's incredible. Oh, I dream of it.
I'm making Smash again.
I'm making Smash again. Yeah.
Well, you gotta let us know if y'all made Smash and how you feel about it,
Yes,
or if we're
please
just
let
being
us know.
dramatic.
Or if it's
Because,
like mid.
or yeah, if it's mid, then just let us know that we're
It's
crazy.
so sad, yeah. And
No,
the other
it's
quest
good.
was to support an LGBT business.
Yep.
So let us know if you did that. I will definitely be visiting some more LGBT-owned coffee shops, bookstores all around Knoxville. And I found out when our Pride is, so I'm excited to go.
Fun. I missed mine.
Oh, it already happened?
It was on the 1st.
What? What? Ours is on the 30th, like the last day. Yeah.
Okay, see, most prides that I've been to are like the first weekend.
Mhm.
So they'll be like around the 7th, 8th, or 9th,
Yeah.
or even the 14th and 15th kind, like a mid of the month.
Yeah.
But this one was on the 1st, and I was like, if I knew
That's
that, I would
crazy.
have called out of work. I literally
I would have
had,
planned that.
I had no
I would've
idea.
scheduled. That is so
And then
crazy.
my friend was like, hey, Pride's happening. Are you gonna be there? I was like,
Today?
oh, what?
Today? Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to find like some sort of other event, because I know that there's
Mhm.
like a drag bar here,
Oh, nice. I'm
and
sure they'll
I
do
would
something.
love
Yeah.
to freaking go. And I know they do like special Sunday brunch shows, so
Mhm.
I would love to go to a brunch. That
Yeah.
would be so much
That'd be
fun.
so
I
much
haven't
fun.
been to a drag show in a hot minute,
Yeah.
so I would love to go again.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. So let us know what events you guys are attending, what businesses you are supporting. Give us
Yes,
a little
please.
plug in the comments, and we'll support them and get more people going.
Yeah, and then when me and
For
Maggie
Pride Month.
travel, we'll go to all these businesses.
Yeah, and we'll support everyone. I can't wait.
We'll support everyone. That's my favorite pastime.
I know, I love supporting
Truly.
people.
I love supporting people.
It's like my full-time job. I always say that if I could just quit my job but still go there as like a jester and just make people feel good all day
Yes.
and not actually work, then I would do
Literally.
it. Yeah.
I was streaming yesterday, and one of my friends that I was streaming with did a face cam for the first time,
Yeah.
because she normally uses like a little PNG character. So she did her first face reveal after
Oh.
500 followers.
Wow.
And I was like, yes! And I was hyping her up.
I love it.
And someone in her chat was like, dang, she really is the best hype man ever. And I was like,
That's so
if
true.
being
You really
a hype
are.
man was a job, I literally would
I'd
do it.
excel.
Because
Yeah.
no, seriously, I
Yeah.
would pass flying colors top of the
Mhm.
board, because that is my favorite thing to do.
It's so
I
fun.
love hyping people up,
Yeah.
because I love, like, I want them to feel great. I want them to feel good. And if I can
Yeah.
get paid for that,
Right. It's my dream job.
I mean, I do it for the free, but
Yeah, I already do it now for free, but if I could not do
if
my
I
job and
could,
just do that instead,
yeah, exactly.
I would love it.
I'd have
I'd
more
love
time to hype people up.
Right. Come on. I'm running out of hours in the day.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, we are wrapping up the Hero's Journey circle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the one that actually says Atonement. Okay. Anyway, so we went
Notes.
into the new world from our ordinary world. We
Yes.
hit rock bottom. That was a fun one. And
Woo!
now we're on the way back, learning what we need to learn, learning how to incorporate it into our everyday, ordinary lives, and smushing them together. So today we're talking about the part of the hero's journey that is called Atonement with the Father.
Yeah.
Which-
Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds
isn't that
horrifying.
weird? Yeah. I did some research. Apparently it's like a Freudian thing. You know, it's like
Ah,
everybody has daddy issues,
yeah.
apparently. But
Apparently.
it's basically
Thanks,
like,
Freud.
yeah. But it's basically like your father represents the ordinary old world that you came from. And so
Ah.
in this section of the circle, you're reconciling all of the new things that you learned on your magical journey into the magical world. You're reconciling it with the ordinary world and learning
Mm.
how to incorporate the best parts of both.
Best of both
Yeah.
worlds. That's
Oh, oh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because like,
Mhm.
you're a changed person after all these ordeals and everything you've gone through and experienced, but you can't just go back to the ordinary world like nothing happened. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like you're in this phase of trying to mold them together to fit this new version of yourself.
exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
One of the examples we thought of was when Simba is reconciling his freedom when he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be king. I want to be my own little guy. I'm running
Yes.
away." But then his father, his literal father, visits him in the clouds and says, "Simba, remember
Simba.
who you are." And so
Exactly.
and so at the end he's able to reconcile his ability to be free and his need to, overcome his uncle with the message that his father gave him to remember who he is and all of his
Mhm.
kingly duties in the pride. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because I feel like even though we're trying to get out of the magical or getting out of the ordinary world and step into the magical and we love our escapism, like at the end of the day, we have to reconcile with the ordinary world that we live
Yeah.
in and learn how to exist as our new selves in that same environment, which I think
Yeah.
is going to be pretty tricky.
Oh, for sure.
Hmm.
It's because, escapism is nice and everything, but at
Hmm.
the end of the day, we still live in reality. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
We still have to find a way to make peace with that. And that's
Hmm.
why we have things like escapism and listening to these podcasts or going to
Hmm.
Ren fairs and reading books. And those things are nice, but at the end of the day, the Ren fair ends. The
Yeah.
book ends. You have to close it at some point.
The knight goes
And
back to his cubicle
the
accounting job.
knight, yeah, the knight goes back to his cubicle accounting job and outside of his metal uniform, like and so
Hmm.
it can be hard and tricky because
Hmm.
some people want to stay here forever. Some
Yeah.
people want to stay in the magical and stay
Hmm.
in the mystical. But that's why we're here in this podcast is to keep bringing you this magical mystery, giving you
Yeah.
these random silly things to
Hmm.
do because we can be your escape while still keeping you in reality.
Yeah. And the
So
hero's journey is a circle. So you
so it
leave,
always starts
you go into
again.
the magical world, you learn something new, you come back and you reconcile it with the old world, and you do it all again and again. And you're
Exactly.
constantly changing. And I think an important thing is that you're bringing all these magical elements back into the world. You're changing the world as well. With all
Exactly.
of the people that you're like talking to, all the people you're meeting, all the attitudes that you're changing, everybody's day that you're
Attitude.
making just by giving them a cute compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, you're affecting the world too. So the more that you do this rebirth cycle and changing yourself, changing your mindset, the more the people around you and your community are going to change.
Exactly.
Hmm.
One of the things, this is so cheesy, but one of the things that's always stuck with me from one of the shows I used to watch a lot
Hmm.
was Girl Meets World.
Oh.
And cause I grew up a little bit for Boy Meets World, but I didn't
Yeah.
watch it as much until I started watching Girl Meets World. But one of the lessons that they teach in Girl Meets World is something so simple where it's like people change people, but you don't realize how much you can affect people with just a look, just a little conversation.
Yeah.
Flashback to I think it was episode 1 or 2 where I mentioned the thing about toll booth workers
Yeah, yeah.
and that at the base of this is how you can take what you've learned on this hero's journey and bring that back like Maggie said to your community, to the ordinary world, because you'll change somebody else's life and maybe they'll go on an adventure, maybe
Hmm.
they'll be more confident, maybe they'll be like, you know what, this person said I could do it, and you know what, I will choose to believe them today.
Oh, yeah, I
you
love
know
that.
I
Hmm.
had a conversation with a customer and I
Hmm.
was so proud of myself. I tweeted about it, but I was so proud of myself because it was a little old woman, but she only spoke Spanish.
Oh.
and I'm a cashier, so it's
Mhm.
like kind of an important conversation because like I'm handling her money.
Yeah.
So I know as much basic Spanish right now to converse as I can.
Mhm.
So I was trying to explain to her like her money and stuff like that. And I asked her how she was in Spanish, and she replied, and she was like, every time I speak Spanish, everyone's like, "Oh my God!" Like gets
Spanish.
so excited that
Yeah.
I am communicating with them. And um she was like, "Oh my God, like, you speak Spanish." And I was like, "No, I only know a little bit because I'm learning."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh my God, you're so good." Like,
Oh.
and I told her total, and then
Mhm.
she said something else, and I answered her back, and then I was like, "How do you say like have a good day in Spanish?" But I tried to say it as best as I could with the vocabulary I
Yeah.
knew, and she told me how to say it. I repeated it back to her, and then
Mhm.
she was like, "I want to learn English. How do you say that in English?"
Oh.
And I told her how to say it in English, and she said it in English to me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I was like, "This sweet little grandma."
Yeah,
I
that
was
is so
like,
precious.
it was the best conversation, and
Yeah.
I felt good about actually
Mhm.
taking what I've been practicing for my Spanish and using it. And
Yeah.
then it made my day that she was like so happy that I knew Spanish or was learning Spanish.
Mhm.
And we just had a little conversation and we
Love that so
connected to each
much.
other for a bit. And then she left and had a good day. And she had the biggest smile on her face. This
Oh.
cute little old woman. I
Yeah.
love her.
No, that is
But
so sweet.
yeah, and that the me learning Spanish is like the little bit of magic that I'm learning, and I brought it
Yeah.
over to my ordinary world and I used it
Yeah, that quest
to
that you've been
have this
going on.
conversation
Yeah.
with this woman, and I
Oh, I'm so
probably
proud.
hopefully made her day.
Right? No, that's so sweet because you've been going on this quest, learning Spanish,
I
putting all
know
this
for
hard
so
work into
long,
it.
man.
Yeah, for so long. And then you finally got to share that with someone in
And
your
like
ordinary
use
world.
it.
Yeah, and through that you made a
Mhm.
connection with them and she got to learn
Exactly.
something from you
And
too.
she got
That
to
is
learn
so
something from
sweet.
me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was like, wait, this is
Yeah.
so nice.
That's the perfect example of atonement. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so good.
Right? I
Yes.
wasn't even planning on sharing that, but it just came
Right,
to my
no,
mind. It
that's
happened
literally
like two
genius.
days ago.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's so good.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was really nice. But another example that Maggie brought up also was the grandma in Moana, which that
Yeah.
scene makes me cry because it's after Moana's grandma, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Moana, it's after her grandma dies and she becomes like the Ray, and it's the scene where Moana's like in the middle of the ocean, lost and by herself, crying about how she should go back home because the ocean made a stupid choice. And her grandma's little Ray flies under the boat, and her grandma stands there and she's like, "Moana, what are you doing? Don't forget who you are."
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
have that great song with all the ancestors, and
I
it's so
am
powerful.
Moana.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
uplifting, and it's
Oh,
so
it's so
good.
great.
And
Yeah.
Moana remembers like where she came from, what
Hmm.
she has learned along the way, and who she is. And she stands her ground and she goes back onto her quest.
Yeah, and that's like kind of a perfect example because she's like literally reconciling with her father's ancestors.
With literally the
Yeah.
ancestors.
And taking all the things she's learned on her own personal quest and all the things that her ancestors have known forever
Mm-hmm.
and combining them. And that's who she is at the end of the day. She's just a combination of all the things she's
And
learned from
then
everyone in her life.
and then she brings it back to the village
Yeah, and changes
and
all of them.
changes all of them.
Wow, guys.
And she teaches them and she convinces her father
Hmm.
to be okay with the ocean and fall in love with it
Yeah.
again.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, people change people.
People change people. That's the most important thing that you
That's
can
the most
learn. If
important
you
thing.
don't listen to anything else from our podcast, people change people.
It sounds so simple, but it just
I
makes
mean,
the most
yeah,
sense.
think about all the inside jokes you have, the clothes that you wear, the music you listen to. You probably learned that from one of your friends. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking about a concert that I went to with a bunch of my friends, and I was like, I didn't even listen to them before, but they were going, so I went too, and now I
Yeah.
listen to them
And
every
now
single
I
day. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
The amount of like things. So I have a poem about this in
Mhm.
my second book that isn't out yet. But I have a poem about this in my second book because
Mhm.
like it's basically a reflection of all of the things that people have done or show me in my life that just like make up who I am.
Hmm.
Like I have peanut butter and cinnamon sugar on my toast because when I was a kid, my nana put peanut butter and cinnamon
Yeah.
sugar on my toast.
Hmm.
And it's just like all the little things over the toll people because my
Hmm.
sister told me one thing and I made
Yeah.
sure to like keep it in my brain and do it. And it's just like all those little things that we don't realize sometimes, because after a while they end up becoming habits or behaviors. And then we're
Hmm.
like, wait, why do we even do this in the first place? Like, how did I get this?
Yeah.
Like my friend just had a baby and I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, you grew that human being inside of
Yeah.
you. And now everything he knows is going to come from you and the people around
Wow.
him.
Whoa.
And that is so crazy and scary,
Yeah.
right?
That is so wild. No, I
But
was just
that
thinking,
that could be people at any age.
literally,
Like
yeah. No, I was thinking because I had never eaten a bagel until sophomore year of college. You knew me before I had eaten my first bagel,
I
and
knew you before you had eaten it for everything. Bagels are my life,
you
Maggie.
know how much I love a bagel now.
I know.
But as we had went to Dunkin' Donuts with my roommate sophomore year, and she was like, "You have to get this bagel with this cream cheese on it." And so I was like, "I did it," because we were like just starting to be friends, and I was like, "I want you to
Yeah.
think I'm cool."
I,
And now I get
I
that
want you to
bagel
like me.
every single time. And I was thinking about that. I was like, when did I start getting this bagel? Because there was a time where I did not eat bread at all.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, I learned that from my
Whoa.
sophomore roommate, my Dunkin' order that I still use 4 years
Hmm.
later.
Yeah.
So
I drink
crazy.
coffee because my sister,
Hmm.
because I wanted to be cool like her.
Yeah. Because I want to be cool like her.
I wanted to be cool.
Yeah. Hmm.
um, that's that's crazy.
Hmm.
It's just like you could trace back all the little things that are
Hmm.
about you, and you can be like, oh, like I saw somebody do this on TV, or I saw this
Yeah.
from a friend or whatever, and then it just kind of like molds and becomes a part of who you are. We're all these puzzle pieces. I like to think that, not to get like spiritual or philosophical,
Yeah.
but I like to think that like we're all these tiny pieces of stardust, like pieces of the
Yeah.
universe,
Hmm.
right? And when we die, we kind of become that stardust again,
Hmm.
but we end up molding with other pieces of stardust to be reborn into other people. But that's why we have like like best friends who are soulmates and twin
Hmm.
flames, because we all used to be the same pieces of stardust and we're all
Yeah. And we have little
disconnected
bits of
now,
each
and
other.
we have
Yeah.
little bits of each other
I
as a
love that.
part of each other.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fun and magical to think of it
I
like that,
know.
that we're all just like little pieces of each other. And
Yeah. It's so
that's why
sweet.
some people are more compatible,
Yeah.
less
Hmm.
compatible. And, that would explain soulmates because you have more pieces with the
Right.
other person.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I don't know. I just like to, it's just
I know
fun.
it's really cute.
It's just fun to think
It's
about.
really sweet. In Wuthering Heights, what's her name? Kathy. She has a
Yes.
quote when she's talking about what's his name? The main guy, Heathcliff. Heathcliff.
Heathcliff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're like, star-crossed lovers. They're not supposed to be
Yes.
together because of class or whatever. But she's like, whatever our souls are made of, his and
His
mine
and
are
mine
made
are
of
the
the same.
same. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So sweet. Because they
Not to
could
not to
not
be
have been.
cheesy, but I first heard that quote from a Wattpad book that is now an actual novel
Oh
and
my God.
is a 4 movie series.
Is it after?
Yes.
Oh God. Not you reading it in a Harry Styles fanfic.
Um, After is literally, I have a copy of After over there. Don't shame me.
No, I would never.
But
I read it in eighth grade
I
too.
was okay. So I read it on Wattpad, right?
Mhm.
But this was when Wattpad was like fan fiction, just strictly fan fiction. Not a lot of
Mhm.
books had come
Yeah.
from it. And then her book got published. And I was like, oh my God, she wrote this on an app that I write on
Yeah.
and got published. So I bought the book and I like reread it because it was
Mhm.
a edited version, obviously, because she
Mhm.
couldn't say Harry Styles in the novel.
Was it
Or
Harden or something?
and yeah, it's Harden.
Harden.
But you couldn't think of
Ugly
any
name.
other
Ugly
H
name.
name.
Yeah.
All of the names are kind of ugly after she switched them.
Yeah.
But
But also, like,
in my opinion,
if it was a character named Harry that wasn't Harry Styles, I would also kind of get the ick. Like that's kind of an icky name when it's not Harry
It,
Styles.
so true. Henry's
Henry's
a
a
little
cute
better.
name.
It's
Yeah.
a little better. Not as icky.
Yeah.
But I bought the book because I was like, if she could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
So I literally haven't had the heart to get rid of it because I've just been attached to it because I'm like, this is the dream, is
Yeah.
publishing a book, just like something that is silly and fun,
Mhm.
and then it ends up being like for real a dream conquered.
But you know what? You watched her get a book published from Wattpad, and now you have a book published.
And now I have a book published.
And that is you learning from her. She is the stardust in your space body.
She is the stardust in my space body.
Thank you, author of After. We love you.
Thank you, Anna Todd.
Anna Todd, you have changed our lives for the better.
Thank you, Hardin Styles.
We love Hardin Styles. That's so great.
Oh my gosh, there are so many things that I used to love on Wattpad.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, takes me back.
Yeah, I used to read some crazy ones.
Yeah. Some of them are so meme worthy, but honestly, I love them just the same.
No, I love them so much. I was trying to explain to my guy friends that when you read a fan fiction where all of One Direction adopts you, or all of One Direction is in the mafia, it's completely normal. If
It's
anything,
normal.
it's expected.
If you haven't, what are you doing?
Yeah. I was like, that's like some of the tamer ones, I would say.
I remember I started to read one that was like I think it was a mafia one with them where like they had to come claim you because someone owed them a bet. So they kidnapped you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so great. That is fantastic.
Too good.
Yeah.
But anyway, people change people.
People change people, and that's what we're talking about today. Harry Styles changed us.
Harry Styles changed us for the better.
Yeah. But another thing that I wanted to mention was that as you're making your little mosaic of all the people that you love, your little bits are on other people too. And I think it's important to remember that like all the people around you, you're also changing them. And they have little bits and pieces of you that they carry with you. So as you're changing your mindset and learning and growing more, all of these people are going to change too. And that brings us back to atonement and returning to the ordinary world. Oh, another good example is Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when he meets his dad.
I forgot his dad. Isn't his dad like a god of a planet
Ego.
or something?
Yeah, no, he is the planet. Yeah.
Oh.
Because he's like a celestial, so he made that whole planet out of like his matter or whatever.
Oh,
so
wait, because then
yeah, because he's the whole planet.
The planet.
Yeah, and so he like gets this idea that him and his dad can be like the family that he was always missing, but at the end he had to atone with his father, which was just him realizing that his father, his actual dad, wasn't good, and he had a family all along, which was the Guardians.
Aww,
yeah, so sometimes
cute.
atoning with your father, I guess, means killing them.
Killing it.
And disclaimer, do not kill your dad.
Leave it in the past.
Let the past die.
Yeah, I guess like that is taking with you the lessons you have learned and almost analyzing them in this new world to enlighten you about things you didn't know in your new world. Or your older world, your ordinary world.
Yeah, because
so
you're like looking at your old world with your new eyes. Yeah. So you have like a new perspective of everything.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, I guess like an example in The Hobbit would be like after he came back from this journey and as he got older, he was more mischievous. He was more open. He was more friendly to the other hobbits. Like his whole personality had shifted from one way to almost like completely different hobbit because of everything he had learned and experienced. He brought his adventures and almost adrenaline mischievousness into the ordinary world and ended up influencing other characters like Frodo and Samwise.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like Harry Potter at the end of Sorcerer's Stone, when he's like, I'm not going home. Not really. because he's realized that his ordinary world isn't where he's meant to be. So he can kind of take back all the knowledge and things that he's learned at Hogwarts, the new family that he has, and be able to face his ordinary world.
Yeah, it's almost like what is that movie book series? Immortal Instruments.
Yes.
It's like Immortal Instruments where she finds what's her name? Clara?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
Forgot
Clara
about
finds
this
out
series.
I love
it. Yeah.
I love the movie and the TV show.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
movie.
But the Immortal Instruments, it's like when she gets some like jumps into this magical mystical world and realizes that all of these magical things have been around her this entire time. And it's almost like a veil has dropped because now she's in the magical and she can see it within the ordinary. And it changes the way that she functions and lives her life within the ordinary because now the veil is gone. And that's kind of like what this is. We're dropping the veil and combining these two worlds into one.
Yeah, so it's the same old world, but you're seeing it in a brand new way.
Yes.
Your mindset has changed.
Your perspective, your mindset. Yes.
Look at us.
We're connected all the dots.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
We're good at this podcasting thing.
So good.
We're so good.
We didn't sit here for 10 minutes thinking about what to say next.
No, we didn't. I would never edit out something like that.
Maggie would never edit
us.
Would
never. We're nothing if not perfectly eloquent how we speak. And there's never spiders on my eloquent.
The spider. Where'd it go? What happened?
I immediately forgot about it. And then it's gone.
No.
Yeah. So I guess the problem is
in
solved.
The room.
Yeah.
It's not solved. It's just
out of sight, out of mind, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe I swallowed it. Who knows?
So I guess like we're also talking about the atonement, but we're also talking about kind of the reward in the sense because the reward is like what you have gained, right? In any aspect, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, however you want to see it. Anything that you've gained from this is what you're essentially bringing back, you know? And that is what is important.
It is.
As long as you know, so what is it that people say though? Or it's like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
It's about the journey. Yeah. It's about the journey.
It's about the journey.
Yeah.
So, you're bringing this element back, but you've been on this huge journey, and now is your time for rest. Now is your time for restart, doing it all over again, waiting for your next call to adventure from your mentors.
That's us.
That's us.
And I think that kind of brings us perfectly to our side quest of the week. Because we're atoning. We're bringing the new stuff into our old world. And what better representation of your old world than your house that you live in?
Than your comfort zone.
Your comfort zone. Because I'm looking around at my comfort zone, and it's gotten pretty messy. And if I've learned anything, is that old habits die screaming, as Taylor Swift says.
That's so true. Wow.
Yeah.
Wise
but
words
along this journey, I've probably told you guys like 1,000 times that I'm trying to clean my room. And I've gained some very good cleaning habits. So now that I have all these new habits, this new mindset about how my space should look, we can use those. Well, it's only a mess now because you and Ori. You and Ori threw my blankets everywhere.
Wait, I forgot to mention this in the Red Fair video, but we get there and I'm like, Maggie, I don't have anything to wear. And Maggie's like, don't worry about it. And starts pulling out all of her hangers. And I'm like, oh my God, you have so many things. And she goes, yeah, and we haven't even gotten to the costume bucket. I'm sorry, the what?
My costume bucket, of
The
course.
costume, but of course, because everyone has a costume
Does
bucket.
every 24-year-old not have a costume bucket stowed away in their closet for emergencies? Wait, I
I
gotta
like
say,
y'all, like I'm talking hangers, like before the
hangers.
costume bucket.
Yeah.
She had half of her closet out, like
Mhm.
on the bed, piled,
Yeah.
and then was like, "Oh, here's the costume bucket."
I
I was
forgot to
like,
bring out my
"This
my
is
most
it."
my most prized possession in case of
In case
emergency.
of emergency.
You open it up. What's in here? Uh, uh, a
Oh
fake
god.
mustache. And I keep that thing on me.
She packing, y'all. Be careful.
Fake mustache. You never know when I'm gonna need a disguise.
I I I'm laughing because I know this isn't an act. I know
This
Maggie
is
keeps
who I
that
am,
mustache.
unfortunately.
This is who Maggie is.
I also I got a can of for Christmas. I got a can of emergency googly eyes, and so I keep them in my tote bag. Whenever I see something that needs googly eyes, I just put them on there.
Oh my god, that is so hilarious.
Yeah, but back to the side quest.
Anyway, side quest.
Yeah, so like we said, sometimes you need to change your old world with all the things that you've learned from your new world. So our side quest
Mm-hmm.
this week is to clean, right?
Mm-hmm. It's to clean.
Yeah.
It's to change your old world. And by change, we mean refresh, restart, declutter your desk, make your bed, do your laundry, rearrange
Yeah.
some things. The most common mortal term is spring cleaning.
Yay, spring
Do
cleaning.
some spring
Huzzah.
cleaning. I know we're
Mhm,
heading into summer, but as you know, the weather is getting warmer and we're
mhm.
kind of we're stretching our limbs out to summer because I know all of us are probably hoping for it.
Yeah.
But since school is out and we're getting there, do it now. Do a little early summer
Yeah.
cleaning,
Hmm.
end of spring cleaning. Refresh your house in order to help refresh and declutter your mind. I always like to say, because some people maybe find comfort in things kind of being messy, but maybe because you're used to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when one, cleaning can be therapeutic. I know it can be
Oh yeah.
hard for some people to clean and do whatever tactics you have to do in order to get there. I like to use like what's it called? I have a Google Doc, not Google Doc, Google Calendar.
Mhm.
And if you can't do it, like clean everything in one day, because some people like can hyper focus, like me. I'll like wake up and I'll just like clean for 4 hours straight and get everything done at once. And I
Yeah.
know some people can't do that. So maybe like
Mhm.
get a Google Calendar or reminders on your phone, like clock alarms,
Yeah.
and set them for specific times and days during the week where you're like, okay, Monday I'll clean the bathroom, Tuesday I'll clean the kitchen, Wednesday I'll clean my bedroom, and then
Mhm.
Thursday I'll clean the hallways or something. And just break it up any way you see fit or have to
Oh
work
yeah.
with your mind.
Mhm.
Because of course, the purpose of this is not to overwhelm you, but to help at the end ultimately free your space in order for you to think and breathe a little bit better. You'll
Yeah.
be able to refresh, your clothes will be clean, your dishes will
Mhm.
be done. You won't have anything to do except whatever you want to do.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm definitely one of those people that has a messy, like I'm very cluttered usually, and
A cluttered lifestyle.
I kind of thrive like that. But
Yeah.
when I'm clean, like when things are like clean and like put where they're supposed to be, I just feel like a weight is taken off me, and I can focus on all the other things. Even if like things where they're supposed to be is just like on a random bookshelf or like on the
Yeah.
specific spot in the back of my closet. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be there. And I kind of do what you were talking about with like the calendar, except I pick a day where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna clean my kitchen today. And I set like 1 hour timers and I just clean, clean, clean for
Mm.
that hour and then I like take a break. And then I'm like, okay, clean, clean,
Oh.
clean again. Because I have a very like, wah, wah, wah mind. And I'm like,
Wow,
I can
wow.
only focus for like a certain amount of time
Yeah, yeah,
before I'm like, this is miserable. I hate this. And then I just
yeah.
like give it up forever. So I'm like, if I can just make it through just one little chunk of time, it's only an hour. I can do that. And then
I
I,
can do it. It's one
do
episode of
watch.
Bridgerton.
Yeah, I would do one episode of Bridgerton worth of cleaning, and then I watch an episode of Bridgerton, and then I go clean again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like with me, I'm like the opposite because like if I sit so after that hour, if I were to sit down, I'm not getting up to clean again.
Yeah.
I'm done cleaning. So it's like I have to remind myself. I literally like yesterday my dogs were looking at me like, "Mom, will you please sit down so we can like love you?" And I was looking
Yeah.
at them like, "No. Dude, I
No.
will not show you love for the next whenever I'm done."
I must clean.
I'm like, I must finish because
Yeah.
it will just like if I don't finish it when I set aside the time to do so, I will just be waiting for days or weeks until I have the next time to do
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to do it now or never.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
But
sitting down.
no sitting down. But yeah, find a routine that works for you. Find a time that you want to do it, and just get some spring cleaning done. Clear out that old world.
Clear out that old
Get your
world.
world ready for your new
Bring in
mindset.
your new world. Yeah, new
Yeah.
mindset.
Mhm.
And once you do, I'm gonna add a little Ari quest to this side quest.
Ooh.
Once you do clean your old world to usher in your new magical world, I want you to go to the store and buy something fun and brand new for your new magical old world blend.
Oh, I love
Because
it.
I loved my water. So I had the water bottle that had like the timestamps where it was like drink at 7 a.m., 9
Mhm.
a.m. And I would love that water bottle. Unfortunately for me, I like lemon in my water and it got moldy. And I
Oh.
tried to wash it and the mold grew back. So
What?
I had to, yeah. And I like soaked it in like vinegar and
Weird.
literally, and it came back. And I was like, I don't trust this.
That's that strong
So
mold.
it's a mold. Too tough. So I bought a brand new water bottle
Oh. Oh, I love it.
and I love her.
Cute.
And I'm obsessed with this.
I love the
And
handle.
I
Yeah, I
can
love the
clip
handle.
things to it, but
Oh
this
man.
is so sick.
Yeah, that's cute.
And I went to work at 8 a.m. this morning with cold water, and by 2 p.m. I still had cold water.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Look at that.
So bring in buy something and bring in
Mhm.
things that remind you of the magical to keep you in that mindset
Yeah.
to refresh your old world with
Mhm.
your new perspective.
Well, that's a really good one. I'm gonna have to think about what mine's gonna be. But
Yeah.
I have to spring clean first, so I can't think about that yet.
Yeah. You can, don't think about it till you
I have to
clean.
spring clean first, and then I'll
Step
do it.
one before step two.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But yes, that is your mission, brave
Yes.
knights. Go forth and be successful.
Go
And we'll see you
forth
on Thursday. And we have
on
a little
Thursday.
Canterbury tale.
Yes, we
So
have a little
excited.
story time.
Story time with the Questing Hour podcast. Follow
Questing
us
our
on
HR podcast.
social media. Just Questing Hour on Twitter. And
We also have Tumblr and Pinterest.
we're on YouTube and Spotify, which you're probably listening to us on.
New Wednesdays every Monday and Thursday.
And we've been invaded by robots.
We have become cyborgs.
New
Pop.
world. I'm so sorry.